What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, it does not matter what you drive because this is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and today we've got a kind of a fun show. It's a mix-up of everything we do here at the channel, and we're going to be discussing our current project, the 2021 Jeep Gladiator Willys Edition, as well as our up-and-coming project, the 2022 Ford Bronco. That's right, I said 22 because, well, if you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you know that we've pushed our Bronco back. They've had Ford teams have had a lot of problems with the old Bronco, and well, you know, we thought it best to let's get some of those bugs worked out. But we have our current 21 Jeep Willys Gladiator, and I know Bronco guys like, oh man, and Jeep guys like, what are you guys? You're mixing all this crap up. What's going on? But I'm the Willys Gladiator is interesting to me in many aspects because it's like having a Wrangler or kind of the Bronco with a truck bed. And while many people might think, wow, that thing is just like super long, it is super long. But once you lift them, they kind of start to look like they're a proper vehicle. And for one, I'm having a blast with this thing. Not to say that I wouldn't have liked a Wrangler because, you know, Wranglers are fun, but this is just like the best of both worlds to me. And what better way to transition into a Bronco is to know your competitors' options, right? So we wanted to spend some time, at least 6 months, with the Gladiator and get a feel for the Jeep line, and then we'll jump into the Ford line. And I feel like it gives us a true idea of both brands, their pluses and minuses, because they both will have pluses to each of them, and they're both going to have minuses versus the others. But what is going on, everybody? What's up, John Wildman? Let's see, Mr. Smith, did I get my little Bronco packet? Yes, I did. It's downstairs. It's down in the old kitchen. But yes, I got my my Ford Bronco packet, and that was pretty nice of them, I guess. All the money they probably spent on that, which was probably really nothing in the scheme of things. You know, I'd rather have, you know, better products coming out of the plant right now, and it's not the manufacturer really. It's we all know with Bronco, it's the top issues they're having. But anyways, hopefully you guys' Sunday's going well. Once again, you guys know the drill. Smash the like button. It just helps other people find the show, and I greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, because probably some of you are, because I've listed some of this on the Jeep a Jeep webpage, that you know, welcome to the show. I'm not the knowledge of everything, and you can call me out, and I don't mind it at all. So if you see or ever hear me say something that you're like scratching your head, like, what is this dude talking about? Go for it, man. I like debate. What's up, Ramesh? Man, it's been a minute for you, buddy. I like fun debate, and I like learning about products, and that's one of the cool things about this show. But once again, hopefully your Sunday is going very well. It's been here in Middle Tennessee. It's just been rainy. It's been a mess, to be honest. And well, what better way to spend my time than we'll discuss the old Gladiator and Bronco. Let's see. Donovan says the Gladiators look great with 37s. That is very true. And so that'll lead us, Donovan, that's going to lead us right where we're going to start today with the Gladiator. And for those that don't know, this is literally my Gladiator. This is, well, mine has a hard top, but this is how I found it. This is from the Jeep website. That's the price that well, plus taxes. That's the retail price I paid for the thing. I want to say there was like a $1,500 Jeep discount of some sort, and I could have done better. I really could have done a lot better. I'm going to fix my camera here. But there was a particular color I wanted, and, well, this Snazzleberry that they call it, that's what I needed. And I didn't have really much of an option to I found it at a local dealership, and I just didn't have much options to negotiate. I financed it with let me get into this because I bought it from a local, not my local dealership, but a fairly local dealership, and I won't name any names because of how we've been treated, basically. But if you're familiar with Tennessee, there's a town where all the stars live. We'll leave it at that. And I would never recommend this dealership to anybody. But once again, when I started looking at Gladiators, I was like, hey, I needed this particular color, and I knew I wanted it in the Willys edition. And if you don't know Jeep Willys edition, man, it's a nice package. It's like a sports package, which a sport is kind of their entry level you can add some things to it. But so I wanted the Willys edition because it already come with I want to say 32, could be 33-inch mud tires, Firestone Destination MT tires on it. You're getting rock rails with it from the Rubicon package. You're getting the kind of Rubicon slight suspension setup based on the Wrangler. It's not what they offer in the Gladiator, but you're getting the red shocks and all that stuff. There was a couple nice upgrades to this thing. Of course, hardtop. I did not want the painted hardtop. I just wanted the basic, just the basic black, kind of flat black hardtop. And I really like that color with the black grill. Everything about it spoke to me. And I could have went all in on a Gladiator or a Rubicon and spent $60,000, but I'm getting a lot of options. There's limited slip diff in the rear of this thing. Now, why that's not great, it's not a locker. It's still pretty damn handy. It beats nothing. Gearing was, if I went to 37s, definitely would have to gear it, but I think 35s, I'll be fine with this thing. And it just gave me kind of a good platform to either test. I wanted to know what it was like daily living. I haven't had a Jeep since my YJ. So you talk about a leaky roof and all the problems they used to have. I wanted something more modern from Jeep and that style of top because it will definitely give me an idea of Bronco, what to kind of expect. Jeep's had a long time with these Freedom top style panels. They've 2 generations now. They've had issues from the get go, and Jeep worked through it. So it's going to give me a good idea with the Bronco. Hey man, here's what it's like living with that. So let's see. You guys are going crazy in the chat today. Let's see. Terrence, morning, Terrence. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Reeve. Fiat Gladiator. Armando says, when does the 22 new body style for the Nissan Frontier come out? You will see that late August, early September on dealer showrooms. Now, I had somebody debate me about that one. They were like, because I worked for Nissan, if you don't know, at one point. So I worked in their plant here in Smyrna, Tennessee. I have a good idea of how long it takes to build things to get them out to showrooms. And I had somebody's like, you won't see those till November, December. And I was just like, okay, you guys believe what you want. But anyways, yes, Armando, they will be out pretty soon. I know dealers are actually taking, if you want to order one, you can go to your dealership and actually order one of those new 22 Frontiers, which I was very impressed with. If you watch my video that I did this past week, I'm pretty impressed with the upgrades they've done. And, there you go. Let's see, Donovan, I don't like the red dash. I know many do, but I do not. You're not a fan of it. I'm assuming, Donovan, you're talking about the Rubicon edition because that's where you get the red color dash, which, see, I like that. It's exciting to me. Now, it doesn't, much like the Ford Bronco with the colors they're using for each model, sometimes it doesn't go with everything, but I like it personally. Excuse me. And I was reading it today where people are debating you can put vinyl over that stuff, and people were debating today whether that affects the airbags that's in the dash. So that was always interesting. John says the Gladiator's freaking sick. What kind of winch am I thinking about? Well, John, that's part of the show today, but I wanted to give a little history to the people who might be new to my channel, seeing how there's some Jeep people that haven't found me yet. And Bronco guys, I greatly appreciate all your support. But I wanted to kind of give a little context to the old Gladiator. So this was me at that dealership, who I will not mention by name. And there's the interior of it. Like I said, it's an S, basically an S. I had the upgraded I don't know if they call it an entertainment package or what, but you're getting a slightly bigger monitor there. It's not the full-blown 8.5 inch that you can get, but I've not complained about this thing at all. I will say when I picked this thing up, you can't see it in pictures, but right here was a rip or a cut in the rubber gasket that goes a chip in the monitor that I'm pretty sure happened during PDI inspection, and was brought to the dealer's attention when I went to look at it. I didn't even test drive this thing, guys. I knew I was buying it, so it was just like, I don't want anything to sway my opinion of this vehicle. I'm just picking it up, and we're going from there. And it was noted, the dealer, we're going to take care of that dash, this and that. And well, they picked my vehicle up, which was nice, except they're 40 miles away, and so they're putting miles on my vehicle to pick it up to take it to the dealership, but all they've ever done is replace the gasket, and it's taken 2 trips for them to do that, and very, very, very upsetting. But as you can see, the family and me are very, very excited in this, and this was the day I picked this thing up. And man, dealers, please do not put wheel shine on an off-road vehicle. I'm sure there's somebody that appreciates that, but there's nothing more to me as a guy that likes to go off-roading is wheel shine on the tires of these things. Just, ugh. But as you can see, very stock there. Very, very happy family when we picked this thing up. I didn't even look. This is Kelly, my wife, driving it home. I literally didn't drive the truck for probably 2 days. She picked it up, or we picked it up together, took it home. She drove it around town the next day, and I just wanted to sit with it for a minute. But I really like it. There was a couple things I would have liked to had a little bit different about it. But this picture right here is it sitting, waiting on me to even look at it. So very, very happy with that vehicle. And I have to say, the Firestone Destination MT tires that are on it, I would have never added those to anything, ever. I'm not a Firestone guy. They make a great tire, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. There's just something about, tires are like tennis shoes. And you guys, if you've been a fan of the channel for a long time, you know how many tennis shoes, Danny's picked on me about my tennis shoes. But I'm a tennis shoe guy. And so tires are like the kicks, man. You want to throw your own custom tires on these things. But very, very happy with this thing. And once you get the doors off, and this goes for Bronco guys as well. Once you get the doors off of these things, that's when the fun and the top off, that's when the fun really kicks in. And once again, the Gladiator is, it's a truck. There's my dad with me. He was having a blast. He really, really likes this thing. But once you get the top and the roof off this thing, that's where it's at. And as you can see, this is, there's our drive out tags on this thing. And this is when I think probably the first time I took the top off of it. And it wasn't too bad. Kelly enjoys this thing. Now, the first big thing I did was the white lettering, and you guys have to know I got rid of that white lettering on why they have a complete blacked out vehicle with all the badging and everything's blacked out, and I'm not sure why this happened, but when this package came out last fall, it came with BF Goodrich KM2s, which I'm a big BF Goodrich fan. And then they've switched to these Firestones, but they put white letters out and just looked horrible to me. So I think once I flipped those tires, it looked a lot better. And this was us doing some testing. My son seems to enjoy this thing. We're a crazy family, so you got to go with that. My daughter, more than anything, loves this Jeep. And, a lot of times you do things for your kids. And my brother, God rest his soul, had a 92 YJ that she just loved. And when he passed away, man, she was just heartbroken, and she was never going to get to ride in that Jeep again. So one of the reasons why we did this. Now, here's one of the things we're going to talk about today. I put this this bumper on there, and at the time it's skipping my my brain of which. Let me get to it. There we go. So I put this Rugged Ridge. It's a Rugged Ridge Arkham bumper or something like that. I put this on there because I wanted a factory look. Anybody can dump some extreme plated metal bumper on this thing. But I wanted something simple. I wanted something that was somewhat of a factory look. And I like the Rubicon, the upgraded Rubicon bumper you can get. Excuse me. And I like that you can take the wings off of it, and it kind of gives you this look that I have now. But I didn't want to pay for those prices. And if you don't know, you go to buy a lot of aftermarket parts or the manufacturer's parts like stock wheels, factory wheels, stuff like that. And you're always like, why are these things so expensive? It's because of insurance. Once insurance gets involved in anything, and most times when people want to replace parts on their vehicle or there's been an accident, guess what? They want OEM parts. Well, OEM manufacturers know insurance is paying for it. They're going to jack the prices up. So the idea of sometimes of these bumpers and stuff that I could buy from Mopar was just out of, for what I was just out of my reach. Now this bumper here cost me, I want to say it was shipped and everything for under $500, which I thought was a bargain for a winch plated bumper. Very, very nice, very nice bumper. But as you can see, there's a hole missing, and I need a winch in this thing. And so that was part of my question for you guys today is if you were going to add a winch, well, for one, I know I want at least 10K, if not 12K, because this winch that I'm going to buy, it'll be in the Jeep, but I will pull it out of the Jeep when it's time to get rid of the Jeep, because I'm not giving dealerships. I'll trade this in for the Bronco or whatever I plan on doing. Maybe the BMW, and I keep both of them. I don't know just yet. But I'm not giving up a lot of my parts to trade in for. They give you no value for it. So I'm definitely, the plan is to keep this winch. And I have one now. I have an old Smitty built, the first generation H2O winches, and it was a good winch, but it just died. Like many things Smitty built does, they just, for no reason, they just die. The winch was literally parked in my garage on my Nissan Xterra that I had, and just died. Like no explanation of why it wouldn't work anymore. So but let's see. John says Apex Badlands 1200. That is definitely, John, you must be in my brain, man, because that one's definitely on my list. But do you go for, sometimes you want, Harbor Freight doesn't always have the best of reputation. It's a bargain tool company, let's be honest. And there's a lot of cases where I don't give a damn about what the tool, if it's a basic wrench is a basic wrench. I'm not buying Snap-on wrenches just because they say Snap-on. Now, there are things like torque wrenches and stuff that I do believe the quality is so much different that, yes, I would buy high-end stuff like that. But certain things, air impact, stuff like that, I would probably spend a little bit more money than what Harbor Freight wants. But I'm pretty cheap at sometimes too. So let's get into that. So this is first off. And like I said, John, you must be reading my mind, because this is the first one that, I won't say it's the first one that I've came to, but it's been on my list, and me and my buddy with Lifestyle Off-Road, we've been discussing winches a little bit. Let me adjust this where you guys can see that. There we go. And we've been talking about the put the winch on the Beamer. But we've been talking about winches. So this Apex 12,000 pound winch with synthetic rope, because I'm not doing metal spooling on it. I've done some testing between metal and the synthetic line, and it's night and day. The weight savings is night and day difference. Like now with the metal, usually you're going to get at least 100 foot of cable. With these, I want to say it's 81 foot of cable, which really means it's about 61, because you want to keep, I think it's about 20 feet, 15, 10, somewhere in there extra you want to keep spooled around the winch, so you don't unspool it and then, you're kind of shit out of luck. So at 81 feet, yeah, you're roughly 65 feet of actual usable. But you can always add a strap to that, and you can make things work if you're in that particular situation that you need it. But this Badlands Apex has got my attention because the reviews on this thing have been, I have to say, they've been pretty fantastic. Now it is Harbor Freight, so every once in a while, you're gonna get that bad winch. But just their old style, the old Badlands winches that they used to use, used to be such a bargain. Now this one's interesting to me because they've upgraded it a little bit. The look of it is great. The toe point there is freaking heavy duty looking. Let me see if they got, yeah, here's a good picture of that. That in itself, I think you can buy these at Harbor Freight for like $50-$60, something like that. That is a nice latch point right there. And it comes with a couple things. You're getting a wireless remote, but it is plug in. You can plug it in, so it's not just completely wireless. Like if your battery's dead, you're kind of crap out of luck there. Which I like, and I think a lot of modern winches are really going to this, because there's nothing like having a cable coming out of the front, especially if you're the kind of guy who wants to be able to control your winch from inside the cab. There's nothing more pain in the butt than you got this cable coming around the hood. You're trying to do this, cables always pull on you when you're trying to use them. And the idea of wireless, man, if you just wanted it in your hand, is you could hold the steering wheel at the same point. Is super plus to me. But there's other winch options out there, and I wanted to get into what is there a brand that, is there Warren or Smittybilt or one of these other brands that you guys are really into? And let's get in the comments, and let's know what you guys are thinking. And cheers for one. It's too early for whiskey, and people in the comments I had one person in the comment a week or two ago asked me if I had to drink on every live stream I do, which I thought was funny because I I enjoy a whiskey on my live shows, and that's about the unless I've had a bad day or just feel the need. I'm not needing AAA, so or whatever. I'm not an alcoholic, so I found that funny that somebody had put in one of my video comments about that. But hey, maybe you're trying to save me one person at a time. Let's see. What's up, Justin? Paving Ends said put that in the Beamer. Yeah, I don't think so. The Beamer needs to go away. That's a whole nother live show, man. That Beamer's been such a nightmare. Let's see. YouTube Car Spotter's Guide. Matt's Off-Road Recovery has a nice tow rope for sale. Saw it this summer, he said. Bobby says he has the Apex on his Rubicon and absolutely loves it. Let's see. Man, I'm getting all these messages pop up on my screen. Yeah, I'm sure it is. A lot of this stuff, man, I used to sell guitars and stuff like that. And one manufacturer, there's like 2 manufacturers in China or in Asia for everything. And yes, I believe that it probably is made by the same people making the Warren VR series. But that, that just because they're made on the same line, I will say this. Sometimes there's standards that each company has. Yes, they contract these manufacturers overseas to build these winches. But Warren has their own individual standards that they stamp on. It's like, hey, this is what we expect, whether it be better bushings or whatever that's inside the winch. There are some differences. So I do believe that, yes, the cores and stuff are all made probably almost identical, but there are certain pieces that they do require to be a little bit better. But let's go over to, and I'm going to, remember, this is a live show, and I like to do crazy things. Let's look at the Warren winch in the VR series. All right, so let me pull this up. And VR winches. I don't want the cable. Where are you at? Oh, 4-Wheel Parts, your website sucks. Let's do this. Bear with me, guys. Remember, this is a live show, and well, let's just do this. So, let's look here. I'll pull you over here. Let's look at some options of what I'm looking at right now. So we are on the 4-Wheel Parts website. 4-Wheel has obviously they own the Smittybilt brand, so they're going to really pump their own brand. But let's look at a couple things here. So we've got the 10,000 pound, the X20 waterproof with the synthetic rope. It's a 10,000 pound winch. They're generation 2 with the Fairlead for $599. Now what was the Apex was $629. So a little bit savings there, not enough probably to sway me. And like I said, my Smittybilt never let me down on the trails, but it let me down when it was parked in my garage. So I've had Smitty. You kind of know with Smittybilt what you're getting, or you should kind of know what you're getting. So once again, a winch is one of those things though too. If you go super cheap, and we can get into some of the Amazon ones that I was thinking about pulling the trigger on. But a winch, when you need it, you need it. And before you go out on the trails, double check to make sure the things work. Tie off on a tree, rewind it, let it. It's smart to re-spool these things every so often, especially synthetic lines. Wash them out after every trip. And I mean it. Put it on a tree, wrap it on a tree, extend it out, spray that off, get all the rock and debris out of those because it will collect that. And it's going to give you a lot longer lifespan with that synthetic, because that is one of the downsides to synthetic lines are light breaks them down. Just use breaks them down. Where the cables, you would always have the little strands breaking, but it just, what's going on my stream today? Here we go. Sorry, people getting their names cut off. But so let's look at this. We got this Smitty for $599. Let's see. I'm not interested in cable at all. This Generation 3 is kind of interesting to me. And let's be honest, man, these winch companies can get you just by changing the look of the winch. It's probably the same internals, everything's the same, but they just kind of make them look a little more like cooler. And suddenly you're excited. But this one is $649, so it's about $20 more than the other one I was looking at. But it's not wireless. It looks like there's a nice handle to that, but it's not wireless. And as you can see, nice synthetic line. The Fairlead, very nice. I like that blacked out Fairlead to it. I hate to say I like the tow hook better on the Badlands, but those are all, you can always change those out. But I do like the Fairlead there a little bit better. And hopefully, is there name stamped in that? I can't. It's hard to tell sometime in these things, but there you can see the how do you operate it. Yeah, they've got Smitty built everywhere on this thing, and yeah, it's on the Fairlead as well. Which I look, man, you want to pay me to advertise your company? Like, I'm not one of these D-badge guys like with their your cars or whatever, because I've ran into people like that will pull their badges off as soon as they get their car, and they're like, well, Nissan or whoever didn't pay me to advertise for them. And I'm like, really? You just bought their product, and you should be proud of what you bought. But I will say on this, I don't need Smitty built 14 times all over what I'm potentially wanting to buy. But let's see, the big thing. So this one is 9,500. So this one's really not gonna. You would be downgrading from 12K to 9,500. And if you don't know, with a winch, you want 1.5 times at minimum, 1.5 times the curb weight of your vehicle. So 9,500 wouldn't be too bad for, say, the Bronco, but I would at minimum go 10K for that. And with the Gladiator's a little bit heavier. I'm thinking 12K is kind of where I want to be. And then, I can, whatever I do with the Bronco when I pick mine up, I'm still up in the air with winch plate bumpers for those because, well, it's so new. Innovation hasn't really popped for those just yet. A few brands have them, but the size of the winch can matter as well. So be aware if you're buying some of these products before you have your Jeep or you have your Bronco. Just be aware that these are not just a generic size, one thing fits all. Like the more motor on these things, the bigger they are. The more cable you want on these things, the bigger the cylinder is. So. And that's got to go somewhere. So let's back out of this one because that one's just, it's not even close to what I would want. There's another one. Here is a Smitty built. Here's their 12K. It's the X2 X2O. So that means it's their waterproof series. And it's $719. So we're getting into what is that? Almost $100 difference, $90 difference for the Smitty built one. The thing with Harbor Freight, if you look at, they're everywhere. There's stores everywhere. So if it did break on you, and they have a fairly good warranty, plus you can buy their extended warranties, which I may do with Harbor Freight. I'm not a big extended warranty guys. What's up, Frank P? What's up, Nissan Hawaii Nation? My buddy Ronald there. Hopefully, Ronald, did you fly back to Hawaii? Hopefully you had a safe trip. Iconic Bronco says Factor 55 tow hook swap. Yes, I do like those tow hooks a lot. But oh gosh, I've lost my train of thought there. Ronald, you distracted me. But let's see, 88 foot of cable in this one versus I believe the Harbor Freight is 81. So you're getting a slightly longer cable. The gear ratio is 265-1 versus I didn't see it on the let's see what it is on this one. I bet it's almost identical. Nope, gear ratio is 210. So you are getting probably a little bit better gear ratio on the Smitty built, which if you're new to winches as well, spooling of these things, you don't just sit there and just spool. You will burn these things up, or you will drain your battery really, really quickly. Usually it's like 30-second pulls of what you want to do, and then you're supposed to let it, I want to say the standard is like, what if you do 30 seconds, you're supposed to give it like a minute to a minute and a half of cool down time before you use it again. I don't know anybody that does that, but this is what you're supposed to do. Because these winches, you can feel the top of them, the solenoid up there, they will get hot because they're doing a lot of work. But let's see, gives you a minimum battery. So this one weighs 67 pounds. That's another thing you want to look at. you start lifting these vehicles, which I've got the Gladiator. I've got an 1.5 lift, little leveling lift that I bought this past week, and it came in really quickly. I can't remember who made that. But that's the next thing. Remember, you're throwing a lot of weight out on the front of these vehicles, and between this and you can get a plate winch bumper, you can throw the 200 pounds out there pretty easy. So if you're planning on this with a stock vehicle, especially a Bronco guy dealing with independent front suspension, it's going to sag. So just plan these things as well as when you're buying your bumper, that, hey, and your winch, okay, I'm going to need to lift it probably just to get it back to factory height. So if you're planning on lifting it, just take this in considerations, which which springs, especially on Bronco, which springs you go with, and Jeep as well, I guess. But let's go back to a winch shopping here. So let's see. Thanks for redoing the stupid thing every time you go up. All right, there's our Warrens. That's the cable win. I'm not interested in the cable. Warren. Look, they're 12K. The 12K Warren, the VR series, which is their overseas made winch, you're getting an 850, man. Those were the VR series was supposed to be a bargain, believe it or not. But I guess it is. You consider probably these are the Xeon are the American made ones. They're $1,400. So that's pretty crazy. Let's see. There, synthetic rope. All right, 704. So let's look at this. This is the 8K. Wow. This is only 8K and it's 704. So you're definitely, I think with Warren, obviously, like I said earlier, they do want you to you're paying for the name, but I do think that their specs that their standards are probably a little bit better than the Badlands. But let me see if I can find there's 8K. Man, they have a lot of 8Ks on these. I could probably filter this out a little bit. That's steel rope. Platinum S. All right, so pretty much what I'm getting at is Warren's out of my budget for this. Once again, I do need my winch to work when I need it to work, but at some point too, there is a budget to these things. And unless you're just, especially if you're a competition guy using these things for whatever, I know there's some racing and stuff that people need. They need quality. You can spend $2,000 in this thing, and yes, you probably need to. But I think for daily use, $700 is kind of where it's at for me. And guys, in the comments, let me know which would you go with that we looked at right now. Let me pull this back up because I'm an idiot. Where are we at? Would you go with the Smitty built, or would you go with the Badlands? Right now, I'm kind of leaning at Badlands, and I definitely will have a poll after the show. I'm gonna put a poll up that you guys can vote on, and I'm definitely gonna take it's definitely 50-50 here, like between what you guys think and where I'm at right now, because once again, winches, it's a lot of money, and everybody wants to spend money on their vehicles for definitely things that people go, oh man, you lifted that thing, that looks badass. Sometimes you spend a lot of money on a winch and people don't notice it, and there is some pride. You want people to notice, oh man, you've really built a cool rig. Well, if you're the person at the mall who doesn't understand, that you might actually use your winch, yeah, they're not going to notice it. And at the end of the day, you do want people to notice your vehicle a little bit. I don't care if you're a hardcore rock crawler guy. Trust me, at some point you want somebody to kind of go, man, you did a badass job on that thing. So right now, let's see, Apex. There we go. Let's bring you back over here, Apex. Bam, there we go. All right, so right now, this is kind of what I'm leading at. And once again, I've got a poll up now between this and tires, but on YouTube here, I will do a poll between the Badlands and the Smitty built, and I'll give the specs in those so you guys can double check them. I'll add links to that as well, so if you guys want to research this on your own. But as of right now, I'm kind of leaning towards the Apex. The only thing I really don't like about it is how much, the big Badlands up there. I think they could have put Apex up there and Badlands switched it out. It probably would have helped sales a little bit. And it's nothing against Harbor Freight. Once again, if you know Harbor Freight, they are a bargain tool company, but they've really stepped it up with their winches. Their winches have always been pretty good quality. So right now, this is kind of what I'm looking at. Okay, well, they're comparing a Xeno here, which is not even fair because that's a Chinese built Badlands versus an American built Warren, which 1780 versus 629. Well, let me see in the comments here. Let's see, because somebody had said something about. Anna says it's 5 o'clock somewhere, dude. It is 5 o'clock somewhere, but it's Monster 30 for me right now. I don't drink coffee, and so this is my get up and go in the mornings, and usually it lasts me till about noon, and then I'm ready for some water or something a little more fun. Let's see. Bobby said he had his in his Rubicon. Loved it. Bobby, if you're still here, have you had any issues? Did you have any issues with mounting it in the front of your Jeep? I'd be curious about that. Pavement Inn says, I've got a Warren Xenon 10 sitting in the basement waiting for his Bronco. That is awesome, dude. And that's a great, Bronco guy, that's some of the cool things about waiting for your Bronco, which we're going to get into with that as well, is you can buy some parts now. Nothing's stopping you from buying parts now, and 4-wheel parts and all these companies are starting to drop some cool aftermarket parts for that thing. So you can start gathering those things. Let's see. Michael Brown says, yeah, Dave, that was a stupid comment about you having a drink. Nothing wrong with it. Thank you for all I do, and great comment. Thank you, Michael Brown. Thank you for that nice words. And let's see. Nothing with a drink to calm the nerves. Cheers. Iconic Bronco says 12K Smitty built X20 synthetic on his Raptor. I've never used it. Going on the Bronco. Hell yeah. 4-wheel parts extended warranty. How long is their extended warranty, Iconic? I'm curious about that. Why are you waiting? Tim Davis, or yes, the other Tim Davis. Thank you for mentioning that. Guys, if you would smash that like button, it really does, believe it or not, it helps the channel quite a bit. So let me do this. Pull this off. And once again, I will have a poll up because I am curious what you guys think with these winches. So we will do that. And next item for bids. What is this? The price is right all of a sudden. Our wheels. So tires. So tires are an interesting thing with the Bronco, or with the Gladiator. The cool thing is now with these 8-speed transmissions they're putting in this, and with 10-speed with the Bronco, is the old days, if you had that 5-speed, or in some other brands they put 6-speed automatic transmissions in it, you start dumping these larger tires in, and then you suddenly got a 4-speed. Well, the cool thing with some of these modern transmissions is, if I were to, you never lose the 8th speed, but your engine has more options to shift points for the larger tires. And there's a couple things that I will do. I'm planning on putting 35s on the Gladiator. And let me pull the old Gladiator back up here while we're talking. So the idea is I'm going to put 35s on this thing, and that's about it. There we go. There's a good side picture. So I've already got the rock rails on it with the factory ones, which I'm not a huge fan of, but for the short time I'm owning this vehicle, they work perfect for what I'm going to do. I'll be out in a month or so at Windrock Park with this thing, enjoying it. Hopefully I don't put any dents in it, but if it happens, it happens. But I think 35s with that front leveling kit, as you can see in the rear of this thing, it already the rear's got room for 35s, and I think the front. I talked to my local discount tires, and they were like, "Oh no, you can put 35s on these things all day long." And but like I said, I've got the inch lift, the inch and a half lift for the front of this thing, and I think it's just going to make it look great. And as far as tires, now, like I said earlier, I am a BF Goodrich nut. It's for me, I always want to put in my mind what in my mind is the best tires on my vehicles, because it just I don't know, you think about this, family safety, whatever you're driving in. I used to see all these Nissan guys, which generally Nissan guys are super cheap. they would run these retreads, the tread rights and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, for my daughter, my kids in this vehicle with me, if I were to do something to have a blowout and it was just me, my safety is one thing, but the idea of my family's safety, I'm never going to run just, in my mind, garbage tires, anything cheap. The Patagonias and all that stuff, they're probably super quality tires, but they definitely are a Chinese-made tire. We all have experienced that sometimes the Chinese-made products aren't exactly the same quality as some of the others out there. And so that's one reason why I've been a BF Goodrich guy. I'm generally a Michelin guy with car tires. I do like the Pro Pilots for cars. But where are you guys at with tires? What is your favorite brand of tire? Where have you where are you at with tires? And as far as, I'm pretty set on 35s, but I'm putting the same size tire on this as I will the Bronco or the Sasquatch package comes with. And why, you go, Dave, why are you doing that? It's because when I get the old Bronco, I want to be able to, if I get rid of the Gladiator for the Bronco, I want to be able to have the tires swapped out. And you're probably thinking, wow, they're kind of a cheap dude. But have you priced tires lately? I'm looking. Let's see. Let me pull it up here, and we'll get into this. Let me transition you guys out real quick. And tires. So let's do this. All right. So I love that Discount Tires is using the complete wrong Ford Bronco for with the Sasquatch package. But so here, the factory size tires on that Sasquatch is 315/70 17s. I'm running 17-inch wheels on the Gladiator now. So, and like I said, I wish I'd marked down what the actual size is, but it's like a 32-inch tire. Now, 315/70 17s, everybody's like, oh, they're 35s. Yeah, they're 30, depending on the manufacturer. They're 34 somethings, but who cares, man? But let's get into this. And last night I was looking at this website, and pretty horrible. Pretty horrible. There we go. All right, so being I am a BF Goodrich guy, look at that, first thing on the list. But I'm not completely, once again, I'm not completely sold that I've ran KO2s and KM2s for quite a long time on a lot of my vehicles. On my company vehicle currently, I have a set of KO2s that are needing replaced. I got about 53,000 miles or so, and they're just starting to, the fronts are, I needed to rotate them more than I did, and the fronts are starting to wear a little bit more than they should. But you know, the BF Goodrich 50K mile warranty, which finding a warranty on any tires anymore is kind of funny. But we all know, like I said earlier, your tires are like your favorite shoe. You know, they definitely change the look of a vehicle. And the KO2s always look good on anything I've ever had them on. But I've been looking at some of the Nittos. Those Nitto Ridge Grapplers there look great. But pricing, you know, you guys can't see it. Let me adjust this so you guys can see. We've got to play along, right? We got to have the pricing where you guys can see what these things are going to cost. So bear with me. My software today is acting wonky. All right, there we go. Now you guys can see the pricing along with me. So let's just get into the details of this, because they're going to make you, stupid website, it's going to make you run a load C tire. So it looks to be the size I want is going to be $301. So, which is crazy, because these tires, you used to be able to pick up this sizing of tire for $280. So definitely, you can tell the old pricing is going up on a lot of this stuff. But let's see. So I need 5, by the way. I'm not your cheap guy that's only buying 4 and leaving the spare alone. So we want 5 of these bad boys, and you still can't see the pricing. Let's fix that. There you go. Now you can see the pricing. So 5 of them, I'm looking at $1,505 plus tax. Plus, every state has a disposal fee, blah, blah, blah. Even if you keep the tires, they're going to charge you a disposal fee. But so 5 of them, $1,500. So let's go back. Let's look at another brand. Guys, let me know in the comments, where are you at with what your brand is? And I'll look at your brand because I'm curious of what tires you guys like. And Bobby, thank you for the Snazzleberry comment. No team cheat. BFG for life. Car Spotter Guide says. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. Ramesh says General Tires served me well over the years. This is gonna be a snotty comment, Ramesh, but General, the AT2s or whatever they call them, I've always felt like we're just a ripoff of the KO series. It was just like sort of a. This is horrible comment, but it always felt like to me, the guy that couldn't afford the BF Goodrich but wanted that look. And all these tires look the same. Let's be honest. But all of them have the aggressive side lugs now. What's up, Austin? But let's look at what these a set of these. So we were what, 1505. And if you're playing along, right, keep up with me. But that's for an all-terrain tire. Now, where you guys stand with all-terrain? So the Sasquatch package of the Bronco, you're getting the Goodyears. They call them MT tires, but it's like Goodyear Duratrax almost. They're sort of a hybrid. Let's see. You can get a 10% discount if you are a veteran or active duty. Well, Tim Davis, I am neither of those, but that is good to know for anybody watching and they are a veteran. And if you are a veteran, thank you for your service. Let's see. But I'm torn. Do I go complete mud? Because I'm running MTs now on the Gladiator. And once again, these tires, if I buy what I want, I'll just switch them out to the Bronco when that comes in. Hopefully fingers crossed, February. But let's see. There's those Milestar Patagonia MTs that everybody loves, and you can tell why everybody loves them because look at that price difference. Let's check these out. So let's go 5 here. Let's go deeper into this. The lug pattern's not a bad lug pattern. I would say they're probably fairly quiet on the road, and I know people that use these and love them and stand by them. But I also know people that when they do that, they're also putting them. It seems like every 30,000 miles they're having to put a new set on, and then they just chalk it up to, oh, well, that's just what these style tires do. And you're like, not always. My KM2s, I got 45,000 miles on those. And they needed replaced, but they still had life left in them. I think I ended up selling them for $250 or something. But so we can get 5 of these bad boys for $1,215. Now that's a pretty big savings, right? That's almost like for 5 of them, that would be like getting a tire for free, basically. Austin says Cooper STT Pros. Let's see if we can check those bad boys out. These Pathfinder, no, not at all. Let's see. There's the Patagonias, the Hankook AT2s, which I've used those on my company vehicle. I believe it was the AT2s. It actually wasn't a bad tire. Tires, once again, I want it to look aggressive. We want the perfect thing, right? You want your tires to look aggressive, but not kill your mileage. And tires are the first thing that are going to kill your mileage. If you ever start researching the weight of tires and you go, okay, factory tires will say 38 pounds. You start getting into a lot of these tires, they're 55, 60 pounds. So the rolling resistance is very, very noticeable on that. So there's the Nitto Terra Grapplers. They're just not aggressive enough for me. Duratrax are always, I've ran Duratrax and not been bad, but the sidewalls of them, I've cut a couple sidewalls on these, but let's get into this a little bit because I do like the Duratrack, and I may run these on my company vehicle because once again I'm putting tires on that as well. So let's see, they're just so damn pricey. Look at that, I'm at $1,800 for 5 of these things. I don't know. Where do you guys stand with? I've not been a Goodyear guy though. I have ran my solid axle Xterra that I just got rid of. I had Goodyear MTRs or whatever they're called, with the Kevlar. They weren't bad. I ran them in the mud. It was super nice. Let's see. Coopers. Now, these Cooper Discoveries STTs, yes, Austin, I've looked at these tires before, and I think it's a great looking tire. I don't care for the white walls, by the way. I would have to run the blacks on the outside. But let's see, 1655 versus those KO2s, which are now we're talking MT versus AT, but we also have to, you got to be practical about this too. I'm going to do a lot of daily drive. No, I won't say a lot of daily driving with I think the Gladiator has 3,000 miles on it right now. I drive it, but it's not like it's, I'm driving 100 miles each way to work or something to do that. So MTs, the idea of MTs isn't a big deal to me, but at the same point, I hate to know that I wore out my mud terrain tires basically on the highway and never got to use them but maybe a few times a year for their intended purpose. Though that's just probably the practical dad side of me, I guess. But definitely like the lug patterns of these things. Once all these MT tires went with the siping, helps a lot. Let's see. What else we got here? And hopefully hopefully you guys are enjoying this conversation. Now here's my tires that I love. Big fan of the KM2s. The only problem I ever had with KM2s was ice. And I don't know any tires that you ever have that love ice. But let's see, 5 of these bad boys. So 5 of the KM2s are going to run me 1670, and that is at the 315/70/17. So it's still a narrow. Don't get me wrong, that 70. If you go into a 75, it might be gives you a little more tire pattern, but it's also going to affect your mileage. Remember, anything you do to those tires is going to affect miles. So, and the Sasquatch package is what rated right now at 17 combined, something like that, 18 combined. Not that I really don't care about miles, really, to be honest, but also I don't want to make this brand new vehicle or my Gladiator. I don't want to take it to the teens, the 10 area for no reason. Excuse me. But the new pattern of these, I like them a lot. I like how they've went the sidewalls. They've went a lot more aggressive with their sidewalls, although you can't. I'm sitting here trying to talk to you guys. You can't even see it. There we go. So I like how they've went more aggressive with the side lugs here, and believe it or not, that makes a difference when you're airing down. It just gives you more something to chew on. And whoever came up with the idea of doing the sidewall lugs, they knew what they were doing, man. So I'm kind of leaning towards this now. 1670 versus 1505, I believe. Not a huge difference, but where are you guys at with this? For me, if I had to choose right now between the KO or KM2s or KO2s and the KM3s, which ones would you pick? Let me know in the comments, because either way, these are going on both rigs. So I will put them on the Gladiator, and I'm hoping to have it by next month. I could actually go get them right now, but I'm doing the smart thing. I'm like thinking about the purchase instead of what most of us do is just like, I want it, let's go get it. But let me know in the comments. Let me see what you guys have been talking about in here, by the way. Iconic says BF Goodrich's KO2s, but I ran a set of Toyo AT3s and really like them. Looking for a little more aggressive and slightly louder. So Iconic, you want to hear them tires on the road, huh? Which there's nothing wrong with that. I will say the Firestones that I have are quiet on the road. Like, I was kind of, I told you that I didn't drive the Gladiator till it got to my house. So when I took it out for the first time, I was expecting, because the old KM2s I had, you could hear them a little bit, that road noise, you could hear them a little bit, but these have been very, very quiet. Of course, that siping they do does help that as well. But let's see what you guys are saying here. John says BF Goodrich KO2s all terrain is my choice for everything. John, I like you more and more, buddy. Let's see, we can save the stock rims and tires for daily use. And that is an option. YouTube carp spotter guide. I've done that in the past. I've had a set of off-road wheels and tires, and then flipped up to let's see. Cigar Texan says, "What about the open countries? Let me check them out, man." Let's see. But I've done that. It had a wheel package, and I don't know. You can get a lot of money into that. Now, you know the Jeep is I hate to say a short term, but it depending on how the channel does is how we can keep both vehicles. So when you guys, show the likes and stuff, that the channel should hit 5K subs this year. And as you guys know, we make money on this channel. I'm going to be very honest about that. I'm not going to be one of these YouTubers to show you my back end and all that, because who cares? But I'm trying to do this for a living, and the more subs I get and views, it does help that. And it also helps my ability to keep both vehicles. And I think it would be fun to have the Gladiator and be able to take it out wheeling side by side with the Bronco. And I've got plans I'm changing my Bronco order, by the way. Let's see. Which one was it again? Let's see. Toyo Open Country. Let's see. Do they have one here? Because I can't remember I know the tire, but I just can't remember. There's your grabbers. Let's see. What would 5 of these AT grabbers run? See, once again, I'm not a big fan of it. I like how they have the spots for the studs. But what would 5 of these bad boys run? And you guys can't see it because I had to move it. All right, so 5 of those would be $14.40. So there is some savings there, but not enough for me. There we are. We're talking about open countries. These AT3s. Let's check them out. Now those are not a bad looking tire. Definitely not enough side lug for me. And here in Middle Tennessee, we have to deal with a lot of wet terrain. Our clay is like, I know in Moab and all this, they all talk about slick rock and all that. And I've wheeled Moab. But anytime you get into mud, and we have a lot of clay here, and the clay here in the East Coast area is just, it's like driving on butter sometimes, man. It's just slick. You don't get grip. So sometimes the idea of the side lugs to me are pretty nice, but that's not a bad. Let's see what 5 of them is going to run. So $13.50 for those. That's not a bad price. It's not a bad looking tire. I just think that once again, I want something that looks a little more aggressive. Well, let's see. While we're on page 2 here, what else we got? Continental, the open country MTs. I've been with people that ran those. I want to say my buddy over at Lifestyle Off-Road, this is what the tire he loves. See now those would be in consideration. Let's see, 5 of them. So we are looking at. Is it not gonna give me a price? No total price. Oh, there must be back ordered or something. It's not going to give me a price on those. Let's see. Let's check out a couple more while I'm in here. Mickey Thompson. I'm not a big fan of the Mickey Thompson tires. Let's see. We'll go one more page because I can't remember. These dune grapplers are hilarious to me. Let's see. The Pro Comps wear out pretty quickly. There's the General Grabber X3s that I like. I do like the Nexen tires too. These Kumo, I almost bought these Kumos one time. Well, here's the Destination MTs. So let's look at these. So this is basically what's on the truck now, on the Gladiator. And what would it be like to go with 5 of those? So $16.65, which I hate to, I've been very pleased with this tire, so that would be an option as well. So it would probably be right now between the Firestones and the BF Goodrich. Let me look one more time because there's another. I want to say it might be a Kumo tire that I really like. And I thought I saw it last night when I was researching this stuff. I know a lot of people like the Falcon. Here's the Kevlars. Now, I've ran those. This is a nice tread pattern. I will say I've ran these in deep mud, and with 35s, they were 15s. But in the 35 form, very, very nice. The only thing I have a problem with these tires are they flat spot real easy. If you don't daily drive the vehicle, you can let that vehicle set. And I'm not the only one that's noticed this. I've read comments about this that they will flat spot, and it takes a couple miles down the road to get them to kind of get it out of them. But a really a nice looking tire. And I guess that's it. So I will start a poll on this as well, because I want you guys' feedback on this stuff. I really do. You know I've wheeled some of you in the comments. I've wheeled with, but I'm not too stubborn. Like I said, I'm a BF Goodrich guy, but I'm not too stubborn to look at another brand. I'm pretty brand loyal, but not. Tires are, you can wear them out in a couple years and you buy something else, because I know for my company vehicle, I'm not putting KO2s back on it. I'm going to use the company budget to try out a different tire, and not that I'm going crazy and expensive with a tire, but I do want to try out what a normal, like the Frontier that I have as a company vehicle. I do want to try out something different for that, and just it's good for the channel. It gives me a better idea of tires out there. So there we are with tires, and let's get out there. Let me see if you guys got any comments on tires. Austin says just do tires and re-gear to get the mileage you're looking for, as well as the tire. Austin, I think with the 15s going up to the 35s in the Jeep, I don't think it's gonna be slightly noticeable. And there's the I can't think of the little box that you can put in, so I can tell the transmission that it's got 35s on it now. It'll adjust the shift points again, and when you do regear, it's really cool. You can tell it's a little box for you Bronco guys, and I think Ford will have. There's probably an adapter place for this for the Fords, where they can you can tell the transmission if you regeared to like a 411 or whatever. You can tell it that, and it adjusts everything on the fly for you to the transmission to understand shift points. You can tell it tires. A lot of cool features. I'm hoping it comes out with Bronco as well. But let's see. I had one more topic that I wanted to kind of get into today, and I've already purchased this, but I'm curious of what you guys will think on it. Let's see. John says, road noise with mud tire. Wife might not like it. Taser. Yes, that's it, Austin. It's the Taser. The Taser Mini is what it is. It's a guy thing. We want noise. Yeah, your vehicle's not kick-ass if you don't have noise, right? All right, so my last thing I wanted to get into is trail communications. Now, I know there's ham guy out there. Loves ham. Guess what? Ham on the East Coast is like, because you think out in the West Coast, if you're out in Moab or these places where you've got some distance between you and a town, ham is perfect for that, except for the fact that, there's CB is not going to work out there as well. I know a lot of guys, especially just weekend warrior guys, CB probably works okay because you're generally not too far away from your group. Ham's great if you're way out there and you need, you're solo, you need help. But there's also there's kind of I wouldn't say a new kid in town, but Micro Mobile, or was it GMRS? I believe is what it is. Yes, GMRS. So let's get into this, because let me adjust my screen once again, because you guys know I'm gonna have to. I do all this on the fly, and it's part of, I guess, me being an idiot, maybe. But anyway, so the Midland GMRS radios, and this is a happy medium to me. With ham, obviously you got to have your license for it. You got to test for it, and if you've done that, awesome. I've had ham radios. I didn't test for it, and I didn't really use it, but ham is crystal clear, man. When I did a week out, and I did a week-long adventure out with the Rogue Overland guys here on YouTube, and it was my first, I'd seen ham and played with ham a little bit, but it was my first experience being distance with ham, and ham was awesome. And just beats like anything beats, CB is like 1940s technology or whatever. Anything beats that. Um, but I need a happy medium. And like I said, us on the East Coast, I mean, yes, if you want to do all the ham stuff or you can listen to the damn space station, whatever, that's awesome. But I just feel like East Coast guy, it's not needed. Now, if you're an overlander, you're an adventurer, and you plan on being all over the globe, ham's definitely the way to go. But I really feel like, for me, that these GMRS radios or your basic walkie-talkie is where it's at for me. They're crystal clear. You can get good range out of them, and we'll get into that because it will, depending on the wattage. Now, the basic wattage that I'm looking at is like a 15-watt radio. Let's see. So there's a nice little breakdown of it. So a 15-watt radio will give you 50 miles of communication with no obstructions. Now, we don't live in a world like that, honestly. Maybe out west, yes, you do. But here, especially on the East Coast, we do not live in that world. But we do live in the ideal or obstructed areas. So with CB, unless you tweak them out, you get a couple miles, really. Ideally, you get a couple miles of poor reception. With the idea of going with the walkie-talkie style, the GMRS, is it's clear. You can upgrade antennas. You can get these things really cranking, and it's easy to install. Like I know there's some CBs where you can plug it in your aux port and all that, and bam. I have CB with me. Trust me. I use a Midland. Oh gosh, let's see. I'll show it to you real quick if they have it up here. Products, CB radios. I'm a pretty big Midland fan, and I'm using the 75-822 is what I use in my trucks, and I like this radio because it's very portable. You've got an aux plug there. You don't have to hardwire it. It's got the cable where you can plug your antenna in, and pretty easy. I use a wire or a magnet mount for it. I had them in my full-size trucks. When I do off-roading, I had a Cobra mounted in my my Xterra, hard mounted, but for Kelly's Xterras, we use these. Worked out great. I like them that you can add the battery packs to them. Work great. I love this radio. I think I have 2 of them right now, but like I said, I'm wanting to. Obviously, I already have the CB option, but I'm wanting to go to the GMRS, man, because I've seen a lot of people starting to go to this, but it's your local. The hardest part is your local guys, your local off-road club or whatever. A lot of them are CB guys. Initially these were fairly expensive. It's getting into, they're almost cheaper than CBs now. And I know I was reading companies like Midland they're kind of pushing CBs out of their portfolio. They'll probably do CB stuff for the next 20 years still, but they're not making it their focus. CB Tech is where it's at. There's no real way to take it any further, but you're getting a lot more wattage in some of these radios. And let's see what you guys have. Let's see. I've seen some comments about it. So Fly, what is up, Flytrap? We haven't seen you in a while. The 15 watt Midland works great. So Fly, you've used this radio. It's awesome. Oh, thank you, other Tim Davis. Yes, I definitely would. We'll do a show on that, ham versus the GMRS. I would definitely be into that, Tim. Let's see, because once again, I'm just a guy that does a show. I research a little bit of this stuff, but I don't have time in my life to break down every freaking detail of this stuff. So, I'm an idiot at heart. So bear with me when I talk about the simpleton version of these things. But so I'm definitely looking. I bought one of these radios, by the way. I ordered it last night. But which one did I order? Dun dun dun. Now the 40 watt here. This is the big bad boy. $250 for this thing. Still not too bad. Let's see. 65-mile range. No obstructions. Now, with a 15 watt, you get 50-mile range. So is that extra for basically $100? Is it worth it for that extra 15 miles? I don't know. Maybe. But it obstructed. I think it's the same obstructed as it was with the 15 watt because you got to go through things. You can get 8 repeater channels for this, and let's see, what was the? What's these others? Which one? Trying to think. I was trying to get one of these packages, by the way. Here it is. The MXT 15. This is the radio I ended up going with last night. But one of the things you need with this that I didn't mention earlier is you still need a license for these things. But guess what? You just buy your license. You don't test. There's nothing crazy. You just buy the license and you're good to go with this, which I will do definitely. But let's see. So the MXT 15 VP3, that's a mouthful, boasts triple range of the handheld walkie-talkies. God, I talked this morning. Featuring all 8 repeater GMRS channels. Multicolored LED backing. You get the weather band, which is nice. I like having a weather band because sometimes your cell phones just don't work in areas. Many times at Windrock Park, you don't get cell service. Let's see. There's a USB-C charging port on this thing, which is really, really nice. No drill. So the mounts on this is no drilling, which that's kind of cool. It mounts to I've seen these on the hoods of trucks, which is really, really nice. Though I don't think it's going to work on my Jeep that way. But it's compact. These little things are tiny as well, super tiny. And lip mount not compatible with Wranglers or Gladiators, which is I have a way of fixing that. I'm a tinkerer. Let's see, you get the tiny little stub antennas, but there's the radio. I'm definitely because I'm not super knowledgeable about these radios, but this is where I'm wanting to go. If you jump into one of these, man, everybody's messed with a walkie-talkie. It's really no different. It's just more powerful. Guess what? Your walkie-talkies, if you got a bunch of those for backpacking or whatever you do, they all work together. Let's see. Fly traps, that's where we at. So you're getting realistic testing 5 to 7 miles. Hey, for what I need it for, that's perfect. Let's see. Oh, we got a debate going in the chat. Austin's using the rugged radios. I did look at those. Just a little too pricey for me. All these radios work line of sight. Yeah, I get that fine. I like to go through what they claim they do. Yes, I'm definitely I didn't. This isn't the exact package that I bought, by the way. It's the radio I bought, but I got the it's a taller antenna that I got. Out of a coat hanger, get better performance. That's great. Let me go into the off-road. Like I said, I went with I didn't get this package. I wanted this package with it, but this is the antenna I got, the little magnet antenna. Definitely those little ham style antennas they're just okay. But this on the roof of either vehicle I think will do fine, or wherever I can actually mount it to, seeing as how they're hard top plastic tops. Or the thing with the Bronco, you have there'll be mounts where I can make a mount for the mount on the spare tire. Obviously the Gladiator's that's one thing with the Gladiator. It's a little complicated to mount a CB antenna. Now I've done it with my other mid-sized pickup trucks I've had. I mounted them in the beds, but I don't want to go too crazy on this, seeing as how I'm gonna, maybe get rid of it. Let's see. Any radios does not confront to FCC specs like rugged radios or anything sold as race radios. You guys are going crazy over there. But so guys, what do y'all think about going with these style radios? Once again, they work with walkie-talkies. So if you're out with somebody, once again, over the years I've collected a lot of walkie-talkies. So it's something I always have in my backpack or something when I'm going off-roading. So, and I've done this in the past with just if I'm leading a group, especially on one of my events I do, a lot of times I'll keep a walkie-talkie for me in my tail so I can communicate without not everybody knowing, but it just makes it easier. I can just for planning. Sometimes when you get on the CBs and you start talking, hey, we're going to do this and that, it's just a nightmare. So I like to plan with my trail leaders a little bit. I like to use this style radio. But I'm super pumped about this. Once again, I will have a CB in there because it's not dead technology just yet, and everybody seems to love to buy a $50, $60 CB. But I'm really wanting to. I'd like to see a big push in the off-road community to go into this style radio. So, you guys are going crazy in the comments there. Fly, you and Austin, going crazy. So there we go. There's what communications I've done. I bought this yesterday. I know you guys have bugged me about some gear. I have some things coming. Ordered some stuff last night. I can't give it away just yet. But as we wind this thing down, I think I mentioned it last show, and I'll mention it again, that I have changed. Well, I haven't yet. When order banks open up for my Gladiator, I'm moving away from the Black Diamond, and I'm going up to the Badlands. I'm just over the waiting. It's probably been a good thing that I'm like, you know what? F it, man. I want that sway disconnect. But so my Bronco guys, there you go. I'm kind of pumped for that. The Bronco or the Gladiator outside, larger tires are in the plans. The winch for the front of it, and then it's pretty much just see what we can do with it. I probably won't go too much crazier than that. Even on my Bronco, I don't know that I'll go super crazy on that. Probably eventually I'll do 37s on that, but I wanna just test the Sasquatch package on that, see what it's like without it. Other than that, there you go, guys. There is my plans for the Bronco and the Gladiator. Let me know in the comments what you guys, as always, what you guys think. I'm open to suggestion on these things, especially if you're a Jeep guy finding the channel. I'm definitely open to what you guys have used in your community, and I like that kind of feedback. Austin, what winch? You have to rewind, man. You're gonna have to rewind. Pavement Ends is happy about the Badlands. It looks like. Let's see. Let's see. Where is the live chat that's going to make a lot of people mad? Honest, I could have said something. Don't even remember. Well, I will say, Bronco guys, like I posted this in Bronco Nation, and they don't like hearing about Jeep talk over there. So, someone gets Chinese radios for transmitting on police frequencies or commercial. Yeah, well, I have one of those Baofeng, however they pronounce it, ham radios, and yeah, I listen, and that's about it. Yeah, definitely don't get on those ham radio channels unless you have your license. So there you go, guys. That was what I want to talk about this Sunday. Now, remember, Bronco guys, Mondays are for you. It's exclusively Bronco talk on Monday nights. I'll have some videos popping up this week. Hopefully something outside as long as the weather permits it. And till next time. So from all things two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive because this is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and we are out.